my third horror manga recommendation, I wanted to talk about Dragonhead. This has been one of my all-time favorite manga series for I think 10 years now. It's been a really long time. I read the I've read all of it and I read it so long ago. And I only recently got my hands on volume 1 within the past few months. This is like older than I am basically. It's very, very old, but this series has 10 volumes total. It did have an English publication forever ago, but Kodansha is coming out with its own really, really nice remastered version, and I'm super excited for it. And the first volume comes out in December. And I just kind of wanted to talk about it because it's really interesting. I will say there are a lot of different points at play, but I do think this series talks about kind of the darker side of humans. So, like, in a worst case scenario, how do people react? That's kind of what it's about. There are some sort of supernatural elements, like, kind of, you can say, but I don't think the focus is on that. The focus is on human nature, which I really like. And this is a seinen series, so it's targeted towards older men, but do not let that stop you. I think this series, I don't think you should really pay attention to demographic, like, at all, really. I enjoyed it, and I think any horror lover would enjoy it. So, what's it about? So, I'll do a little recap of at least, I think, the first 2 volumes, but I'm not going to do any like big spoilers. So, our main character, I think his name is Tetsu. I'm bad with names. His name is Teru, not Tetsu. Our main character, Teru, is heading back from, I think it's Kyoto, but he's heading back from a school trip on the Shinkansen, or the bullet train, back to his hometown in Tokyo. And all of a sudden, while they're in a tunnel, disaster strikes. An earthquake happens, toppling over the Shinkansen and causing just about everybody aboard to have very, very grave injuries. And it's a blackout. So it's pitch black. Everybody's really injured. You don't know what's happening. Everybody's confused, and they're in a tunnel, so there's no way out. Teru is relatively unscathed. He's able to get himself out. And eventually, we find out that 2 of his classmates, 1 female, 1 male, are also relatively okay. They're okay to get out of the Shinkansen at the very least. And once they get out, they do a little bit of exploring to see, what's going on. Can we get out? Is there food? Is there water? What's happening? And they soon discover it's pitch black. Like, there's no way out. It's terrifying. They're able to get some supplies and a radio, but there's no radio signal. The supplies don't look like they're going to last all that long. Things are looking bleak. On top of that, so he has a male classmate and a female classmate. Being the only female classmate with 2 male classmates you don't really know, terrifying. Like, already that's terrifying. For Teru, he's a pretty nice guy, so he does his best to kind of help his female classmate calm down, but his male classmate is a little bit strange. And, like, I do get it, where being in such an intense situation where everybody you've known for basically your whole life just got really gravely injured, plus you don't know if you're going to make it out alive. It does kind of eat at your sanity, so I do get it. But this male classmate delves into being kind of a little bit crazy really, really fast. And there's not much that Teru can say to him to stop him from kind of going over the deep edge. And when I say deep edge, I really do mean deep edge. He goes crazy. So Teru and his female classmate kind of have to calm down, kind of figure things out. They need to get out of there. And they do get out of there eventually. They're able to slowly, very, very slowly but surely, they make their way out of the tunnels above ground. But they don't know where they are. They know they're somewhere in between, I think it's Kyoto and Tokyo. And on the Shinkansen, that's only about 2 hours. But not on the Shinkansen, that's like 8 to 10 hours driving. So they're not quite sure where they are. On top of that, it's pitch black outside. They have no idea what's going on. And the black outside, it's not like nighttime black either. It's kind of like a smoky, ashy black. It's really strange. So the two of them are very confused. They're looking around trying to see what's what, where are they, what is this strange building that they found themselves in. When they quickly realize it's daytime outside, like it should not be pitch black out. And also, what is with this darkness outside? It's not nighttime, it's something else. Like you can feel it almost in the air, something strange. And we do learn this very quickly that like disaster struck, everything's awful, like you can't get in contact with anybody. People are putting themselves first, basically. It's me first. My safety is my own priority. So I'm going to do what I need to do to survive, is kind of the mentality that most people have been taking, which is not good for two young students trying to survive, trying to find their way back home. And they do eventually spot some people running in the distance from the building that they're in, from the glass of the window. And they really don't want to go outside because seeing kind of this weird dark substance, they just know it's dark and creepy. They don't really want to go outside into that. But when they see somebody running, they don't really have a choice. They need to collect intel. They need to figure out what's going on. And they do eventually make their way to some other survivors who aren't all that nice to them. And like I get why. In a survival scenario, you want to collect enough food for you and your loved ones. So when two strangers you don't really know come in saying like help us, give us food, it's kind of hard. You kind of have to prioritize your safety first, your survival first before being able to help others. And when communications are pretty much down, besides like emergency alert, it's an emergency, you don't know what to do. You can't really prepare for a future when you don't know what's happening. So our two characters kind of have to make their way. They travel, kind of trying to find different people to help them when really not many people are all that keen to help them. And that's Dragonhead. That's like teeny tiny bits of spoilers here and there, but that is just like a fragment of what happens in it. It's very, very good. This is one of my all time favorite horror series by far, and one of my favorite series just in general. So I'm very, very happy it's getting a nice new updated English translation by Kodansha.